Hello there everybody, thanks for joining me once again. I'm Kim Gal from Colour Passion. Today I thought we'd do something, always trying to do something different for you. I'm going to use the Jackie Shimmer, which is like a real dark midnight blue, put that across the bottom. Ron d'Aqua, we'll put some of that over. Old Gold, I'm just going to swizzle that, if that's a word, just across the top. Just need a little bit of accent, and then we'll use the top cell white. Now, I'm not after lacing this week. I just want to experiment and do something a little bit different. The other thing I'm going to trial is a silver, and I'm just going to see how that goes. I've been sent a sample, so we'll give that a whirl and see what happens there as well. Now, if you haven't subscribed, please do so, and be sure to hit the notifications bell, because that way, every time I release a video, you get a little message. I really appreciate your support, and let's go and have some fun. Okay, here we are. I have mixed up my resin. Now you might notice, especially over the whiteboard, that's actually quite yellow. I just wanted to point out to you that just because one part, which is usually part B, often will go yellow if it's been sitting for a while, and this has been sitting not in the light but just in a box. So I just thought it's epoxy glass, the Barnes epoxy glass. So I thought it doesn't matter, resin is expensive, we've got to use it up. It will not make any difference. In fact, even in white, I haven't really found an issue with it. But however, I suppose you don't, if you've got a very big white background, I wouldn't use it. But if you've got just bits of white through it, it'll be absolutely fine. Now, today, I thought we'll give it a go with some sort of bluey tones. We've got Monet Blue, but you know what? I'm going to take that out. I've just changed my mind because what I've done is I've got a new sort of silvery colour that I'm going to test, and we'll see how that goes. And what I've done, I've actually mixed it with some of the Jackie Shimmer to get a different kind of a blue. So I thought we'll try that and see what that looks like. We're going to have the Ron d'Aqua, which is a gorgeous shade, our Passion Top Cell White, and a bit of Old Gold thrown in the mix. So there's a few colours here today, but we'll have a play and we'll see how it all turns out. So, I've got that. I want to do quite a bit of the Jackie Shimmer. In fact, yeah, quite a bit. I'm thinking I might have a fair bit like on the background almost. Unless I change my mind, which of course I can do, can't I? As we all can. All right, let's pop that in. Don't need too much white. What are we doing here? That's it, that's that one. Don't need, got too many cups. Okay, so we've got the Old Gold. It's a powder, a metallic powder, which again, we don't need a lot of that, just a little. And now, yeah, that's right. Yep, good. I've probably mixed up more resin than what I need actually, but that's okay. I'll use it on something else. Always have coasters or something aside, because you never know when you might want to use something. With leftover bits, I mean. Okay, so I'll just pop that into there, and we'll let it sit. Okay, just going to wipe it off. This is one of these silicone spatulas, so I can use it again and again and again, which is mighty handy, I find. And I'll just turn over the mixing container on the side so the resin runs down around that spatula, and then tomorrow I can pull it all out. Oh, doesn't want to play the game today. Okay, here we go. Let's get with it and have some fun. So, okay. Hopefully this will be enough. Oh, it should be. Nothing like experimenting. I love having a play. All right, let's see how that goes. it a good mix. I have no idea what it's going to be like. Actually, it's interesting because it's a bit like the Monet Blue, which is one of my favourites. Probably just a bit darker, so actually, that being the case, I'll just put a bit more of the lighter in it and see how it goes. Because I did want it to have a bit of a difference with the tone. I didn't want it all samey, if that makes sense. I mean, the pigments are so strong, the Colour Passion pigments, so a little bit does go a long way. A very pretty colour. See how we go. All right. Oops, sorry, not the camera. Okay, so now I'll just put this other amount into here, sort of a silvery colour, and I'll just see how that performs. I'm just testing it today. It looks quite pretty. Quite shimmery actually, yeah, very pretty, I like that. We'll see what happens. Then we've got Jackie Shimmer. Probably put about a teaspoon of colour in that because it's pretty much a full cup. That's why I roughly gauge it. The full cup will have a full teaspoon roughly of pigment paste, and if it's half a cup, half a teaspoon. Just to give you an idea how you can think about that. And that's a really lovely dark colour. Okay. Rondaqua. Very pretty, named after Rhonda from RK3 Designs. Don't want too much. Lovely colour, very popular. Beautiful. Well, there's no flickering lights, guys, because I invested in a new lighting system. Not cheap, but nothing is too much for you beautiful people. The Colour Passion family. Oh dear, now I've just dropped it everywhere. That was clever. Now, if I don't dust that off, I might leave it anyway and show you. What happens is it'll come through the resin and it'll float to the surface. So that might be something that you like up the track. But what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to blow it so that it's not like in one spot. Now it's going to be everywhere. Oh well, we'll see what happens. Nothing like, nothing ventured, nothing gained. It's so light, of course it does, it gets everywhere. All right, and now we just give, you notice I always give the paste a good stir before I put them into the cup because we want to make sure that it mixes up properly, especially if it's been sitting for a while. Okay, less of what, completely off the back, and it's only what's on the top there. We'll pop that in. Give it a good mix. Very important to make sure that you do mix your pastes really thoroughly through your resin. So now you can't see any yellow in that at all. It's perfectly fine to use. So if anybody's sitting there with one of their Part Bs that's gone quite yellow, don't worry, just use it as soon as you can. And as always, don't store it in the window where you're getting lots of UV, because that's not good for it, obviously. And of course, if you go the other way and it freezes, you've only got about 3 times with it freezing that's probably going to perform, and after that, it's probably not going to perform. So just to give you a little bit of information there. All right, let's pop this to one side. You can see how that gold is beautiful. And just trying to put it in the light there for you. You can see it really, really floats. It's a gorgeous powder, it truly is. Okay. We've got our blue, which you never know, it might appear as a colour. Don't know, we'll have a look and see how it performs. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is, have I got any more? Not really, have I? It's all right, I'm just thinking out loud here. I've got, this is, it dribbles out, so I'm going to take some of this out. I'm just going to put some on here. Didn't leave enough. I could have left a bit actually, and then it could have been just a bit of a slippy slidey, enough for us. There's going to be gold creeping through everywhere. Anyway, it's all right, we'll have fun. All right, so that's our gorgeous Jackie shimmer, after the other co-founder of Colour Passion, who's no longer in the business, but she's definitely in the background there. Lovely, lovely lady, and we catch up regularly. In fact, if I've got time today, you never know, might even catch up with her, otherwise maybe tomorrow. All right, so what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to hit it with the gun, the heat torch. Then I'm just going to pick up the board, which I levelled beautifully, so hopefully it won't unbalance it. And I'm just going to make sure that it's hopefully covered a good part of the board. Reflection, you can see my new light, maybe. There you go, see? It's certainly a big monstrosity. Okay, got plenty of product here, so I'm hoping it's going to cover it. What I might do is just with my fingers just cover it. You can see that gold just there floating. Just covering up there. Okay, very good. Okay. Nothing like getting a gloved hand in amongst it all. I actually quite like it. All right, so we've basically got it pretty much covered with the Jackie shimmer. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use, oh, someone's ringing me, they're going to have to wait. Okay, we'll just do a nice little pour across. Who knows what's going to happen with this. Now we'll have a little bit of the Ronde Aqua. And we'll have some of this silvery colour. See what that kind of comes out like. Then we're going to have some gold. Actually, not too much came up because I did blow it and blew most of it off, so that's actually probably not so bad. Okay. Let that come off there. I don't want too much of the gold because it can take over. Just want a little thin bit. Oops. Then we will have some white. Some over here. I think this is a little bit sort of thin. I want it a little bit sort of thicker. Okay, let's hit it with the heat gun, heat torch, sorry. Okay, keep going. Okay, we'll just see, let that sit for a little bit and see what it does. Got some nice little lacing here with our white, a little bit of gold there. I just might actually just squizzle, like that word, squizzle, over a little bit of gold. Oops. Just lightly, very, very thin. That's why I'm doing so fast, because it is thin, so we'll see what happens. Okay, I might just hit that a little bit more, that little area there. Oh, yeah. See if that sells up. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. And we've got different additives, so who knows what it's going to do. I'll put maybe just a little bit of white to break that up there. Every now and again you get it and it catches it. Should be alright. Looks like the white's sunk. Never mind. Now what I'm going to do, I thought today, is I'd have a little bit of a play with some Resi-Blast. I don't know if you've seen that before. It's basically, it creates cells, lacing effects and blooming for abstract resin art. So I thought we'll give it a whirl and see what happens. So generally, I'm just trying to think how I haven't done this for years, haven't used it. I thought, oh, I saw it there and I thought, let's have a play. See how it blooms? It's quite pretty. So So I thought we can have a little bit of a play and just see what happens with it. Love watching it. Just a little bit here and a little bit there. So that's by putting a drop, which is going to give quite big blooms. The other way to do it is to get, I'm just trying to find if I've got one, like a little, sorry. Okay, a pointed pick. So I'm just going to put some to one side, and then with that I'm just going to put a dollop here and like a drop here. You can see just a tiny amount, and what it will do is whatever's on the top, it's going to bloom. You can just have a little play. Just adds a little bit of interest in something a bit different. If you're not happy with what you're pouring and you just want something added to it, here we go, and it'll pull the colour up whatever's underneath. Come over here and we'll do some there. Goodness only knows, you know what my catchphrase is. If you don't give it a go, you'll never know. So here I am, practicing what I preach. And who knows what it's going to turn out like, guys. I love how it all has gone like that. Adding a little bit more on. Might be just solid there, I don't know. Anyway. You can add to it. See what you can create, what magic you can create. Loving that in the middle. Isn't that pretty? Put one there and see what happens, eh? It almost looks like a grub, a witchetty grub, doesn't it? Now, I don't want to keep going because I'm going to overdo it, aren't I? Yes. So let's just leave it at that. I'll come back in about 20 minutes. We'll take off the outside tape and let it flow over and see where we go to from there. Okay, be back in just a moment. Okay, we're back again, and I can see that the tape on one end has come away, unfortunately. So it's kind of pulled those off there, which is a shame. But anyway, and it's really bloomed, you can see that, but I don't mind it. Actually, yeah, I quite like it for something different. It's just very interesting, isn't it? You just never know what you can do unless you try these different things. So I like the colours and the structures, so yeah, it's fun. All right, let's get this tape off. I don't know why, but the last few times I've put tape around these boards, it hasn't stuck really well. I don't know why. I'll have to put something on it. Anyway, all right, let me just put this in the bin. And then we can have a look. All right, so we still need to, with the gloved hands, we just need to roll along around the edge. And it's a bit thinner there because it's run off, and then down here and along this edge here. It's actually really pretty. I'm happy with that. Let's see what it looks like in the sunshine tomorrow. Just want to make sure that that is, yep, covered nicely. Beautiful. Okay, I like just the little snippets of gold here and there. I'm liking, I can see a beautiful pearl sort of sheen there, and that's that colour, that other product that I was trialling. So that's really pretty actually. I can't see, funny enough, a lot of the grey, the silver. I can see a little bit sort of here and there, but the rest of it sort of pushed it out the road, hasn't it? And look at that piece, isn't it beautiful? And that there, I actually really like that. And this will push down a bit. Cool. All right, well, let's leave it at that, and I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, here we are for the reveal. It's all overcast and horrid outside, so we're going to have to do it inside, but I have got my, you can see the reflection. I've got my new lights this week, so obviously we can see a little bit better. Okay, so this is how it turned out. It almost looks like a a witchetty grub here and here. This is obviously from the Resi-Blast. I actually don't mind that. I think it's really quite interesting, make something, you know, like a little bit different. Different shapes, and I love the colours. Maybe that way, I don't know yet. I'll have to have a look at what I'm going to do. Anyway, I'll just, actually I might take this off and have a look. So here we go. There we are. That's a bit better, isn't it? A bit closer. You have reflections of lights and things, but it's the way it goes. See how just adding just the little bit of gold, it is far better than absolutely saturating it with it. And it just does its own thing as it does. I mean, quite a bit sort of ran off, I think, well, certainly a little bit here and then certainly down here. But I don't mind that. I actually like this little centerpiece. It's one of my favourite little bits of it, actually. It sort of almost looks like kind of like a flower. And that one. So I like the colour combination. There's not a lot really of the silver that I was hoping to try, so I'll just have to do another one now with the silver. I actually do like the bluey colour that I got by mixing a bit of the Jackie Shimmer actually with it, so I'm going to have a bit more of a play with that. Yeah, it's really, I'm quite happy with that. So I hope you guys like it as well. So there we go, everybody. So remember, if you don't give it a go, you'll never know. So have a wonderful week ahead, and I look forward to catching you next week. Bye for now.